So let me show you some VIM tricks here. So I got this contrived example that I'm going to do. I'm going to start by reading in the password file, and my idea of reading the password file here, you notice I'm using the R command, which just inserts it in my current document. My idea of reading the password file here is to turn all of these names, nobody, root, daemon, turn all of these into an array in Python. So let's get rid of the first 11 lines. Boom. I'm going to cut off everything after the name. So see here, they're all delimited by a colon character. Every one of them has a colon after it. So we're going to give this a quick instruction here. Visual mode, every line. What we're going to say is, so this is kind of a weird thing. What I'm telling it is, from the command, use a normal mode set of commands, normal mode, go forward to the colon, and then delete to the end of line. When I hit enter here, it's going to do it for all of them. Boom. So they're all gone. Let's go back to the top. You can see they're all missing their colons and all that weird stuff. So what we need to do now is make an array that looks something like this. Users equals bracket, first one, comma, second user, Brian, etc. And then close it with a bracket, right? So let's cut this off. Okay. So to do this, what I really want to happen is I want to go to the end of the line and add a double quote, then a comma, another double quote, get out of insert mode, and join the line below it to it with Shift J. You can see there's a space there that I need to get rid of, X, and that's it. That's actually all I need to do to join all these lines together. And let me redo that. So we're going to come down here. I'm going to record a macro starting with Q. And I'm going to put this into macro number 1. You can see it says recording at 1 on the bottom. Down here. So I'm just going to do that same thing. So Shift A to append to the end of the line. Double quote, comma, double quote. Escape to get out of insert mode. Shift J to join. X to remove that single character. And we're done. Now I just press Q again to end the recording. You can see that's gone now. And now I've got my macro. Let's test it. Undid those changes. So @1 runs the macro. @1 runs the macro. @1. There you go. So it does seem to be doing it correctly. Redo. So I think there are 111 lines. So let's run this 110 times. 110 @1. All right, that did it. You can see it added an extra comma and double quote. We're going to get rid of those. Boop, boop. Okay. So what we need now is a closing one of those. And I need a backslash here to continue that on the next line. The problem is, I don't know if you can see where my cursor is moving, this is all one line. From nobody, all the way here is all one big long line. And that's not very readable. And if you see this red line here, right there at that column, that's at the 80 column mark, which is really where you should wrap everything. So what I really want this to look like is something like right after this comma that's before my 80 column mark, I want to insert a backslash and then return, and do that each time. But really, let's undo that. I want this indented so it's parallel with that. So I want to come to about there. That word is going over the boundary. Insert backslash enter. And I want to keep doing the same thing here. My next one is that MCX thing, insert / enter. So I can tediously go through this whole thing. Or we can write a macro to do it. So let's macro it. Start a macro with Q. I'm going to put it in number 2 now. So I'm going to start. So what I want to do is end up at that red column as my offset, and that's column 80. So to get there, I got to do it in 2 steps. I'm going to press 0, which takes me to the first column on the line. Notice down here it says I'm on line 2, column 1. So go to the 80th column, I need to add 79. So 79L. Now I'm at the 80th column, you can see. And what I want to do is go backwards to the comma. The to command is T, that goes forward. The reverse to command is Shift T, so Shift T, comma, and there we go. I'm exactly where I should be. Now I go into insert mode with I insert my backslash and my return. And now I press escape to get out of insert mode. And the macro is done. Q to end the macro. And let's undo that. And let's run the macro. At 2, at 2, at 2. And it works. U to undo. So I'm going to guess, what, like 10 of these? 10 at 2. No, not nearly enough. Let's do 17. 17 at 2. Looks like about 4 more. U. So 21 at 2. Perfect. All right, we need our final trailing backslash here. We need to indent this. And there we go. Perfectly wrapped the way you want it. And all done with really not a lot of effort. So let's pretend that this whole thing needs to be indented. So visual mode, Shift V, Shift G to be to the end of the, so Shift V for visual mode, Shift G to go to the end of the file. And I'm going to press the greater than sign. Boom. Let's do it twice. So now we're way over the 80 column mark. We need to redo this. So what's the way? Let's highlight it all. Shift V, Shift G, come back a line. I'm just going to join all these together with capital J. Boom, they're all one line again, but you'll notice they all have an extraneous backslash and space. I'm just going to run a quick search and replace or substitute command. Command mode down here, you can see my cursor down here. Substitute this string, backslash space. Thing is, backslash is a special character, so it's backslash space. That's what I'm searching for, so another slash. What I'm replacing it with is nothing, and I'm doing it globally. There we go. All the backslashes are gone. And now I can just run the macro again. It was like 21 before, let's call it 23 now. So 23 at 2. Yeah, it needs one more, at 2. And there we go. It's perfectly wrapped again. So I hope that gives you an idea of the power of macros, keyboard-based commands, and just the power of Vim in general. I think it's super cool. All right, thanks for watching.